Hey YouTube. Um, so I was just taking a spiritual bath while I listened to a reader, another one that I respect, Roots and Resonance. She laid one out today that I can't be quiet on. So I'm 3/4 of the way through. I'm gonna have to go to the gym because it be like that. I got some rage now. So I'm gonna do the best I can to recall. Um, I had to write down notes because it was like that. So, her message is about molesters and practitioners, bad people. I don't recall ever being molested, but the things that have been done to me energetically in my sleep, in my dreams, definitely qualify. And here we go. So, I identify as a Libra. It was made known to me that my actual sign is more likely to be a Scorpio, but I was a C-section, and I'm wondering if I came early on purpose. I don't know, but I've identified as a Libra 100%. Truth and justice are my makeup. So, so in her read, out came the signs of Libra, Leo, and Gemini. Gemini, don't really know much about, but I know I had a coworker whose name was Leo, and this guy went down to be part of the cybercrime against me of setting me up for online activity that had to do with kids in adult situations, linked to my Facebook wall. I've repeated this many times. Where this actually tied in was the day I decided to leave everything. I mean, my girlfriend's house I was living at. Spirit moved in me. It was time to pack my bags and go. So I did. A little too rushed. I forgot my fishing poles and a lot of things that I wish I would have right now. But I am not even gonna. I don't even want to stand in front of these people to get my own property back because it's that real. So paid coworkers. The day I left, Trent Lyle, who's a piece of shit I grew up with in high school, um, crackhead, many other things, not to be trusted. I saw him at the first gas station I stopped at, a BP on Northport Avenue, right by Warner Park. At the time, I was mainlining tarot reads, and it was expressed that these things were going to be there. Immediately when I stepped foot out of my truck, he was here, in my face. And I went, man, that's weird. Didn't think about it again until now. A couple weeks later, going through a spiritual experience outside of Sturgis, Michigan, and I run into Perry. I don't know his last name, but it was definitely him at a gas station when I was expected to be in a hallucinatory state inside my hotel room. I've told this story too. I was moved to grab my shit again and leave. I left all my baggage, everything, got in my truck and started driving for Maine, actually Canada, with no passport or nothing, because I'm stupid and I thought, well, hey, maybe they just let Americans drive through because it was the quickest route. Not only that, there had been readers and signs put in my way while I was watching YouTube that were trying to direct me towards what I thought was a certain person, but now I'm starting to think that this person is not who they say they are at all. And I will call out your name when I find out. So, here's another coworker that was somewhere they shouldn't have been. Then there's a weird chick behind the gas station, behind the register, that I swear I recognize from growing up in Evansville, Wisconsin, along with other people along the way. I can't name them because they were kind of shadows to me. So, definitely, people paid from the past to watch me, and there are others. While I was at my job, people were definitely building me up to break me down, building me up to break me down, trying to make me feel mentally incompetent, mentally insecure, and as though I needed ADD medication. I bought into this because I'm the only one in the factory who's running all over the place to get jobs done. Now, this is just me. When I want to get something done, I get it done so I can have the most free time to myself available. So I decided to go look into medication. They put me on Effexor, venlafaxine, a cheaper version of it. I don't know. I don't believe this is the actual medication I was put on. Why? Because as I started taking it, it did nothing for me. Yes, I didn't run so much, but when I would lapse in it, I would get seizures, walking seizures, meaning they would half a second lose total control of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the quicker I would turn and move, the worse it would get. This was time-release medication, so you couldn't just kind of quick take one and expect everything to be okay, because when you overtake, there are also effects of grinding your teeth and all kinds of other stuff that really feel like drugs. So, the doctor that prescribed me this, Michael Brooks, I believe, from the Yahara UW clinic, which my mom had been involved in her whole life, the UW clinic, also tried to get me on as many drugs as she possibly could growing up throughout my whole life. She brought me to a therapist named Larry Wolfenson. I thought this guy would be somebody I could trust later in life when I was going through more pushed on ideas of help. Hold on. Sorry. Ideas pushed on me that were told, you need help, you need help, you need help. So I reached out. I went to the therapist that treated me as a child. He also treated my mom for numerous years afterwards. So when I showed up to his office, he glared at me, offered me no help. Matter of fact, asked me, why are you here? That's not somebody who helps anyone. And then all he wanted to do was put me on a regimen of depression drugs. I said, fuck you, I don't need drugs. Stop trying to put drugs in my path, which many people have. And for a while I turned to them because of an escape. We don't need to go into that because I've overcome this many times and my family hasn't. So I'm here for a reason. As far as a molester goes, involved in this, there are many of you who are questionable. Matter of fact, in my own family, you have rolled over on each other for being the same. And there's one really close to me, involved in my growing up. And in some years, did I remember some weird shit. That I don't care if you're a stepchild. If that is not your parent, you don't belong in a shower with anybody. Especially when I was fully capable of taking care of myself and cleaning myself. I don't care if we're at the Y. But not only that, I have friends who've been charged for doing shit like this because you can't keep it in your pants and you fuck everything. You know who I'm talking about. You've already lived this. And you are a main player of the one who was fucking with my life at work. Who's been in my network everywhere I move. Why? Because I thought you were a friend. And I invited you in. Cole Cronin. So, the cybercrimes committed against me by Dennis. I'm a Jedi. He changed his name too. I don't know his fucking last name. He's definitely a practitioner. One of 6 that I believe were in the factory I worked in. And that's just there. So, these drugs I was on definitely felt as if they were supposed to affect my brain, fuzz it up, mush it up. I could feel it. I was also introduced to Molly by a jackass, Molly the drug, and overdid it. Started getting seizures. When I was woken up, I felt everything repaired and everything healed. How do I know this? Because when I sleep, prior to this, I could scan, like just feel like a Xerox scanner go across my brain, right? I would do this myself. And when I'd get to this point right here, inside my brain would be like shorts. I didn't know what this was. At the time, it went on strong for about 3, 4 months. This is probably back in 2014 to 2016. And then it slowly went away. I cannot do the drug without it happening, and nor do I want to. I have tried once or twice since, and bad reactions. Probably bad shit, but either way, not part of my life. It's an experience that I needed to understand, to know what this is now. So, I have felt my body healed and repairing itself. This is why none of your shit works. This is also why the in-house doctor of Sub-Zero Wolf Clinic immediately went to wipe my records and re-prescribe everything that this doctor was prescribing me, even though I told her in the moment, knock it off. I don't need it anymore. What are you doing? I still have these medications, and I want them to get tested. So, not only that, she knew I was fasting, which how would a doctor even give a shit about that? Never. I've been to many physicals, many doctors. Never once have I been asked if I've been fasting. But this one with the purple fucking hair who just came back sick after a weekend of practicing knew and immediately wanted to take my blood. So I let him. And then shit got weird. But I didn't stick around long enough to figure it out. I know you found something. Because my mom's been all about it my entire life. So, my vehicle, Cole Cronin, who worked for Shep Motors on the north side. Doug, I don't remember his last name. He's a cokehead. He is the supervisor or the lead, whatever the fuck, shot caller at this car dealership. Cole showed me a red Dodge Ram, 2014 Dodge Ram, 3.6, right? Convinced me that he was going to get me a deal on it because he worked there and that this was going to be my huckleberry, he called it. Well, I figured, fuck it. I wouldn't mind driving a truck. It's been a while since I was driving trucks, so I'll get it, keep it for a few months and sell it. Market seemed all right to do so. As soon as I bought it, everything went to shit. It started breaking immediately right off the lot. There's a broken oil cooler. They denied me any contact for 3 days, which is the statute of limitations in order to take something back. And then the bank fucked me into the loan. They fucked me into keeping the truck. And I fixed it. I fixed everything on it. Shot calipers, warped rotors, fucking headlights that didn't work. Radio didn't work. Just everything about it was ready to go. And they knew it. CV axles, ball joints. I fixed it all myself in my garage, in my driveway. Actually, I'll give credit to my stepdad, though I don't want to, for helping me out with the oil cooler immediately. It did me a solid. So, it has been fucked with since the moment I left Sub-Zero, all the way down to Florida, which I've already recorded this trip. It progressively got worse at every hotel I stopped at. Mainly in Kentucky, where immediately when I walked in to check into a hotel, I was questioned by an overweight redheaded chick about being in the military, which I've never been. I tried to get in, but my shoulder blew out and they wouldn't take me because I needed surgery. I've had weird military people try to bring me in my whole life, but thankfully the Most High knew why and kept me out. So when I was in Kentucky, my hotel room, as soon as I walked in, was like a blast, and I just about passed out. So they had warded my room. They were putting people in every hotel room around me to practice around me all night long. This has been going on months now, even up to where I currently am. So, Kentucky, I met nothing but witches and nothing but weird people hovering around my shit in my business constantly. And I've made videos about this. So, I'm going to stop there because I am raging inside right now. You have no idea how real this is for me. And you have no idea how long I'm coming to realize that this shit has been going on in my life. And everybody that I've respected and loved is part of this. I am okay. I know that I'm going to be served the justice that I've deserved to be served. I know everything is going to come to me because I'm still breathing. They tried to take my life in multiple different ways. They tried to get me institutionalized as best as they could. First it was this try to get me fired, try to get me to leave on my own accord. When that didn't happen, it was try to overload me. When all I did was succeed and do better than you, meaning everybody who tried to keep me down. Then you tried to do the poisonings to get me to point out. Then you tried to get me spiritually. And then you went above and beyond. And I don't know all of you involved yet, but I know most of you. And I've already got things coming your way. I've taken the steps. And it's not me or the police you should be worried about. It's those that come before me and those that are behind me. Yes, I believe in a higher source. I wouldn't be here without it. So, my story will be an example for others that are treated this way. And there have been many others. And I don't know how many lifetimes have passed without anybody realizing this. Because it's made to be a farce. It's made to be a joke. You're made to think spirituality and religion go hand in hand because they are just something that broken people reach for. But religion is that mask. The spiritual world is 100% real. More real than you know, because you practice every day. And just because you don't know the defined terms or don't have your own definition for your own terms to define the actions of what we're talking about when we define spirituality, doesn't mean you're not doing it. You do it every day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest you go educate yourself. Because the reason why it's made to be a farce is so that it can't be proven by the law. It can't be proven by people who just look at the physical. I've already dealt with these, been judged by them and sent out the door packing, told not to step foot in your city. Fuck you. I know who's behind me and I know better and I won't quit. Why? Because somebody out there will be moved, will be aligned. And I think I found her. I haven't heard back from her, but spiritually, I feel movement. Heavy movement. And now I have to go do my part, which is keeping my peace and staying happy.